All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the eventual return or premiere for the Walking Dead Season 10 finale. In this one, we're going to start things off giving our thoughts on David Morrissey weighing in on the governor versus Alpha and Negan, saying that he thinks the governor would wipe the floor with them. And then we'll get into some of your guys' theories and comments surrounding Negan Lives and just in general, The Walking Dead. Alright, so it is Survival Sunday, I suppose, our usual Walking Dead day. We'll have to see for tonight, guys, if we're going to do a live stream or not. I kind of want to, because I love to hang out with you guys. It's a lot of fun. So check back tonight at around 8:45, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and we'll see if we're going to do a live stream tonight and just hang out and talk some stuff. Lots of stuff going on in the world and some stuff going on in Walking Dead. So I'll put the link in the description for this one for you guys so you can check it out from nme.com, where it says the Walking Dead actor thinks the governor would wipe the floor with Negan and Alpha. Quote, there's no competition. So it says the Walking Dead actor David Morrissey has said he believes his character, the governor, would, quote, wipe the floor with the show's current villains, Negan and Alpha. Morrissey's governor was the main antagonist in Season 3 of The Walking Dead, well, in the first half of Season 4 also. It says here, killing both Herschel and Merle. In conversation at the virtual Wizard World panel for The Walking Dead, Morrissey said of the competition with Negan and Alpha, out of those villains, obviously the governor would wipe the floor with everybody. The Walking Dead actor who was also quizzed on his thoughts on Shane, the character played by Jon Bernthal, who began the show as a friend of Rick Grimes, who turned into a walker himself, quote, what a great actor. I never got a chance to work with Jon. I think he's a fantastic actor. Really great, he added. But that dynamic, which started off in Season 1, whether he's a bad guy, he did some terrible things, that set the tone. Reiterating his confidence in his own character as the most threatening villain, Morrissey said, quote, there's only the governor. There's no competition. Come on. The final episode entitled A Certain Doom will air as a special event later this year. Executive producer Greg Nicotero said that fans' jaws will drop when they see the finale. Quote, it teased us up so well for Season 11 that it's a little agonizing for me to not be able to talk about it. The last 2 minutes of the finale, people's jaws are going to drop, Nicotero said, and that's it for the article. So that's a good question, man. One-on-one, would the governor be able to beat Negan or Alpha? Maybe, you know, I mean, I guess it depends on weapons, right? You know, when we meet the Whisperers, it's later on. They've pretty much run out of most of their ammunition, as has everyone else. However, Alpha does have a sawed-off shotgun, so there is that, and she is rather crafty and really bloodthirsty and cunning. But the governor was too, man. The governor was, like when he kills Merle, right? Are you going to bang you? No. He just shoots him. Or like, you know, some of the others, thinking back to Milton and some of the others from Season 3 and the first half of Season 4. He was an awesome villain, dude. And I like that David Morrissey's kind of staying in character with that. You know, that's the way it should be, right? It's like, oh, I kick their asses. You know, like that's how it should be, man. You know, you should think that you know, to totally be in character as the governor, you have to think that you would kill anybody. Would he actually? I mean, if you give him his guns and you go in one-on-one against Alpha Negan, maybe he could, you know, because we have never really seen Negan, you know, use any firearms, hardly at all. Whenever we did, it wasn't like that big of a deal. But the governor was bloodthirsty, and he was kind of a rampaging, shoot 'em up kind of guy. Like at the end of Season 3, when he shoots like his whole team because he gets so fed up with how wimpy they are and everything, and the rage just consumes him after killing. Let's see. Well, he was on a rampage, man. If you think about how many people the governor killed, he killed, in a way, he killed Andrea because of what happened with Milton. He killed Merle, and then, you know, he almost took out Rick and the rest of the group. He killed Axel, right? And so he was on quite a rampage. So maybe if you give him his guns and it's one-on-one, then maybe he could beat Alpha or Negan. I'm not sure. What's more interesting is kind of like Woodbury versus the others. It's a different time in the series. You know, when Woodbury was around, they had an okay population. They had an okay amount of people for the group of survivors, but they weren't really battle-hardened fighters, as we got to see. The governor was, but the people he had really weren't. It almost feels like the second group with the tank were maybe more fearsome than the first group. A tank is hard to beat. Like, you got to have a Daryl to beat a tank. But then again, Negan and the Saviors did have over 100 men. They had the 50 cal. They had a lot of capability. So it's hard to I don't think that Woodbury would have been able to beat the Saviors just based on numbers. With the Saviors being 100. But the second group maybe with the tank, but I'd probably lean towards probably not. And then with the Whisperers, man, I think the Whisperers would smoke Woodbury. Really, I really do. I don't think that Woodbury would stand almost any chance against Alpha and Beta and the Whisperers. They would get trashed. So, maybe by himself, by himself maybe he could. But hand-to-hand is a better question. I don't know. Could he beat... What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. Could the governor beat Negan one-on-one in a fight? And what about him against Alpha, if Alpha had her mask and maybe a couple walkers and maybe a knife or something? I don't know. These are good questions. But with guns, maybe if he's got his firearms, then he can take out the rest. I'd like to see Negan with Lucille against the governor with some kind of weapon and see who win with that. But with the rest, that's where I'd go with that one. But he is a badass villain, I got to admit. So I like that one, and I wanted to at least touch on that one. Carlos Santana asked me to go ahead and do that. Sporasorous Rex said, Trev, do you think that the whole confrontation in the issue of Negan Lives was actually in Negan's head? So this is something that I didn't really touch much on in the review. I did think about it because in this issue, if you guys haven't read it, I did a review of it on, was it Friday? Yeah, I did a review for it on Friday. He does meet a few interesting characters. He meets one named Lucy, who's right here, who's the girl, and she's much younger and everything. And some people think for that, you have Lucille, you have Lucy, you have Lucifer. so that whole type of thing. But another one of the characters that he possibly imagines seeing, I don't think it's in his head, but some people do. His name is Derrick, and he is a villain. But he does look a lot like the comic version of Rick, doesn't he? People pointed that out as Derrick. And especially in this drawing, the way Charlie Adler draws him there, he looks a lot like Rick in that one. I don't know. Are they figments of his imagination? He is really lonely and everything. Is it possible he could be kind of fabricating the whole thing and that she's not even real? It is possible, I have to admit, right? Nothing is real. So there's that. And I read the rest of the letter hacks all the way through now. And it does look like it says at the end that, so it ends off the issue saying, don't you want to see what happens next for Negan's spinoff here? And but then it says, so here we are, Negan Lives. I hope you enjoyed this surprise return to the Walking Dead universe. I can honestly say I don't know if we'll ever actually see, quote, what happens next. To me, you see the headstone in 193. That story is pretty much told, but I'll never say never, but probably never, probably. So Kirkman says that out of Backwoods, California, P.S. Clementine lives. So he's saying that we probably will never see an issue 2 of Negan Lives. But I think we all know you cannot trust Kirkman. You cannot trust Kirkman at his word. And I didn't think about it, but you can kind of have one eye symbolism here for Negan on the cover, which I didn't really think about. But yeah, that's kind of cool in some ways. The man with one eye, kind of cool. So yeah. It's good stuff. Let me know what you guys think if you got a chance to read Negan Lives. Do you think that these characters that Negan is running into are real, like Lucy and Derrick and the other? Do you think they were real, or do you think that this is all in Negan's head because he's been alone for so long that he's actually losing his grip on reality and he's not exactly sure what's up or down anymore? The rest of his comment from Sporasorous Rex said, I mean, come on, he looks just so much like Rick in volume 14 or 15 about Derrick. And I'm not sure who Barry is supposed to represent. Just want your thoughts on whether or not the whole thing was in Negan's head, as at the start he said he would, quote, kill to start hearing voices. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is all in his mind. I'm not sure. I really don't know. It's also possible Kirkman doesn't really know either, and that maybe he could go either way with that. But again, it's also possible that we never see a second issue of Negan Lives ever. So, and if that's the case as well, then we never see another one for that one. But I did I did like it a lot, and I was just really happy to see Charlie Adler and Kirkman back at it again. The old duo doing it again, and somehow I want to believe that this isn't the end for The Walking Dead. That we'll see something else in Walking Dead comics again, and that The Walking Dead will probably never truly die. I don't see why you couldn't have it be a series like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something like that, where there's different versions and you have different takes on it, and over time different people do it. Nothing will ever touch the original Walking Dead series, and even if you are to do another version or another artist or a spin-off or something like this, it doesn't hurt the original story of the original Walking Dead and what that is. So I think it's a property that can live on if they want to do that. Bones22J says, also Derrick equals Rick. He even looks like him. He does. I got to admit, he actually does. Dave Berg says, awesome. I miss Negan's cursing and glad he is helping those in need. This is perfect. Druman Cole said, hey Trev, did you make the connection with issue 193 and 193, which is the second last issue of the Walking Dead comic book series? When Carl visits Negan's house, there is an actual gravestone there that says Lucille. After reading this amazing issue, I think Kirkman was saying that Negan did find her remains and buried her properly. So he would have gone back likely and found her. Was it at the hospital or wherever? Or something like that, where her zombie remains or her body would be, and then he would have brought her and buried her. So I think that is kind of true too, that's sort of what's kind of implied there. I just wish we could see more. Just with Walking Dead, man. It's like I always want more Walking Dead. You guys know, right? So we'll see if we ever get more, or if that's maybe the last issue or something they release. I kind of doubt it, because the fans want it. And if the fans want it, it's like, well, you want to sell, I don't know, 50,000 copies of an issue. Just release something Walking Dead and it'll sell. I wonder how much Negan Lives sold. I bet you it sold really well and helped a lot of comic shops, and that's absolutely great to see right now. Martha Kona says, has anyone told you that you look like a young Dr. Edward Jenner? So that's funny. That's going way back, right? Season 1, I look like Jenner. Yes, I have heard that many times actually now. Probably 100 times or at least 50 times from different people, Martha, over the years. I like that your name's Martha. It makes me think of like, Bruce or Superman or something. Martha. It's... Bruce Wayne, that would be. So both their moms are named Martha. It makes me think of Batman v Superman. Oh, that movie was so awful. But that part was pretty good, actually. But yeah, a lot of people have told me I look like Jenner. I'm English. I would think the actor's probably English too, and I get that, so it's cool. B Sweet B2 says, I love this issue. It felt like The Walking Dead, man. I reread old issues every now and then, but man, to actually get a new story in the Walking Dead comic universe was awesome. And I have to agree, B Sweet P, it was freaking awesome to get a new issue of The Walking Dead in any shape or form after the year that we hadn't gotten anything at all. And who knows, maybe we never get anything again. Maybe it fizzles out to the point where this truly is the last thing they do Walking Dead ever. I don't know. But I was really happy to at least see that. And again, it's sort of like, I don't know, man. Like, if you think of Turtles, right? Nothing will probably ever touch the original Mirage comic Turtles. Kevin Eastman, Peter Laird. So that original run will never be touched. But they've done so many different versions after that. You had the original version. It spawned the action figure line, and thus the cartoon series in the 80s was done to sell the figures, and the cartoon series ended up to be a huge success and run for 10 years or almost 10 years. As well for a cartoon. So, there's lots of potential, man, for the future for Walking Dead, because when there's demand for a property, you can use that license, and I think we'll see something else Walking Dead in the future. Plus, he could also have, what if a new creative team wants to do something with Walking Dead in comic form, and they pitch it to him? At some point, he might want to do it. He might want to say, okay, let's do it. Why not? Nick Clark, which has a picture actually of Nick from Fear the Walking Dead, which I liked. It said, I can't wait for issue 2 or issue number 2. So I don't know, Nick, man. I don't know. It's probably a fan account, but I don't know if we'll ever see an issue number 2, for Negan Lives. I really don't know. I hope so. I think it would be really fun and really cool if he wants to do it, if they want to do it, the two of them. I don't know. I'll have to check Charlie Adler's accounts and see what he said about doing this, whether he enjoyed it or not. But the sense of contribution, man, is something like, when you're contributing and you're making a difference and you're donating, that to something, a cause that you support. That's a beautiful thing. That's a great thing. And, I think the demand is there for more, but I don't know how this sold, so we'll see. But we'll see if they ever want to do something else. But I do want to check out Firepower, because that looks pretty cool, too. Another Kirkman series. When There Were Wonders says, The Walking Dead has a chance to come back if they do it right, which they probably won't. He puts in brackets. There isn't a huge franchise right now making good genre shows with high budget. I mean, The Witcher's okay, but no more Game of Thrones. I really can't think of any other big ones anymore. The Expanse, The Witcher, am I missing anything else? So Mandalorian, Star Wars is always popular. That's one of the biggest shows right now. Stranger Things is another really big show. And then it's just weird in modern day because of the online streaming services. I think The Boys Season 2 just started. There's like a bazillion shows, but there's very few that are really standouts, like Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, some of those. And so I love Walking Dead. Still my favorite series ever. It's unfortunate we had this shutdown this year because we were going to get so much Walking Dead this year, and we were going to see the Rick movies eventually. Now, because of this whole thing, we don't know. And even looking to the fall time, I really hope there is not a second shutdown. But based on the numbers and based on what Gates has been saying for the U.S., it wouldn't really shock me too much if there was a second shutdown in October, November, December, something like that. I know none of us want to see that, and I really hope that doesn't happen. But we just have to be prepared, guys, because we don't know what the United Nations are doing here. We don't know what they want to do going forward. But they've got some 2030 goals they're working on, and so they're changing society yet again. And so, heavy hangs the head. This is what these people are deciding to do. And so if the numbers get too crazy or the cases get too crazy in the U.S., who knows? Because right now it's going like 50, 60, 70,000 a day active cases, which is a lot. And 50,000 just in the U.S. is a lot for the summer. When you get into fall time, it's going to be much bigger than that. So we're going to see what this looks like. There's a lot of unknowns with COVID too. I don't know how contagious the damn thing is, but I guess we're still kind of learning. We're still kind of figuring that out. But the U.S.'s numbers are not looking that good right now. Maybe something to talk about later tonight. In the we could go back and forth on that a bit in tonight's live stream, I guess, if you guys want to. Jackie Varner says, let's talk some Walking Dead with Trev. Can't wait. So yeah, man. And with this year too, guys, I love talking Walking Dead with you guys. It's my favorite thing ever. I like talking conspiracy stuff with you guys a little bit too, but Walking Dead is definitely my favorite for sure. Dwighty Boy 83 said Kirkman is probably trolling, and he's going to bring Negan back for a while. I want a Dwighty Boy spin-off comic. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen. But at least you get to see him in Fear, and he's still alive, so that's a good thing. Jack Oberg says, please, for the love of God, Fear or the finale needs to kick off. And yeah, man. I mean, I'm missing I'm missing Walking Dead all kinds of crazy right now, man. So I can't wait to see it back soon. Whenever that is, whenever we get the finale, whenever we get a premiere for Fear, we'll see. Comic-Con's coming up here in a few weeks, I guess, so we'll see what they say around that time, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some good old-fashioned zombie killing again. It's going to be fun. Ryan Slade says, Trev's review scale, 10 out of 10 equals average. 9 out of 10 it's okay, and 8 out of 10 is garbage. So he thinks, with regards to Walking Dead, my scale is too high. Well, this series is called Negan Lives. Was it unpredictable that I was going to give it a 10 out of 10? Like, really? Did you guys have to, did you not know ahead of time that I was going to do that? You knew I was going to love it. You knew I was going to enjoy it. You just knew it, right? So, of course, I'm going to give it a perfect 10. And to see the two of them back at it again, you knew it was going to happen. So, yeah. But people criticize me for being too generous with Walking Dead. I love this freaking stuff, guys. I really do. Last one will be from AK-47 Domination, who said that smile though about my thumbnail for Negan Lives with the Lucille. Yeah, good stuff, man. So that's it for this one for today, guys. I might be back tonight for the live stream. Let me know what you think. Leave your comments below. Governor versus the others. Who wins? What did you think of Negan Lives? And then send me any questions you have for tonight's live stream, or join live, and we can go back and forth and talk some smack, have some fun. If you like the video, thumb it up below, share favorite, subscribe to the bottom left. See you guys again tonight or pretty soon. It's Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.